We looked at the different kinds of barriers there are, physical barriers like poor hearing or sight. Then there are those barriers inside us, like fear, and those barriers outside of our control, like lack of time.
To help you find time for learning, we looked at making a learning timetable.
You'll see timetables in schools, at bus stops, at airports, in all sorts of places. Timetables are a useful way of planning your time. Planning the time you have to study is a good way to use timetables.
Nearly everyone suffers from obstacles within themselves. Fear is probably the most common. Fear of failing or fear of looking stupid.
We took a look at the kind of information that you can find on food labels.
Reading food labels can help you to eat a healthy diet. And you need to remember that just because something is low in fat, that doesn't mean it's always good for you. So you should look to see how much sugar is in the food you're eating. Words that end in the letters OSE are other words for sugar as well.
If you don't have the confidence to go back to academic learning, then maybe you should try something more practical, like a class in DIY. You see the results here quickly, and this should give you the confidence you need to try something more academic.
We gave you some tips on proofreading, which is reading back over your work and checking it for mistakes.
When you're writing important letters or documents, it's a good idea to make a rough draft first to organise your thoughts. You might make mistakes when you do this, but that's normal. Once you have all your ideas down on paper, you need to read what you've written and check for spelling, grammar, punctuation or other mistakes. You can then rewrite your work, making sure to correct all mistakes.
Lastly, we gave you some spelling tips for words with a PH sound.
The spelling of words in English doesn't always seem to match the way they are pronounced. When the letters P and H are together, they sound like an F. The PH in photograph, telephone and philosophy sounds like an F. So remember, if you hear a new word that begins with an F sound and you can't find it in the dictionary, try finding it under PH.